At 6, new information on the growing Monty fire in Lakeside as CalFire shares tips to protect your home.
I'm a citizen. Am I okay? How can I prove that?
Should everyone carry documentation amid the president's immigration crackdown?
These are basically apartment complexes coming into the single-family neighborhood.
Will new restrictions on ADUs impact large projects already in the works?
I need you to trust me.
Everybody's talking about Tom Cruise and his Mission Impossible flying stunt, the San Diego man who built the plane.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Amazing stunts he's done on that plane. I'm really looking forward to that story. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Chris Groh. A lot to get to today. You saw all of those headlines, but at the same time, it's hot outside, or at least it has been the last couple of days. So, Evan, how are things looking?
Nice and warm out there today. Continues with some warm temperatures, but I will say across our inland valleys, we do get a little bit of a reprieve from the heat. Yeah, especially over the next several days, we're going to be seeing those temperatures slide day over day as the trough of low pressure makes its way in. Out along the water this afternoon, widespread 70s, 80s across those inland valleys. Right now, cloud cover is abundant, but by the afternoon, we should have plenty of sunshine with us. Coming up, we're going to talk about some cooler temperatures over the course of the weekend, but also about an uptick in our wind gusts and wind speeds, something to watch for as the weekend starts to approach. Back to you.
Thank you, Evan. This morning, some evacuation orders are lifted as crews work to contain the Monty fire in Lakeside. It started Tuesday afternoon off of El Monte Road.
It has burned at least 868 acres. That's double from when we were bringing this to you yesterday. 25% contained. The evacuation order that had been in place for an area off El Monte Road has now been lifted, while orders in remote areas remain in place. The temporary evacuation point at the Walmart off Los Coches Road is now closed. Right now, no homes are threatened. 3 firefighters were injured in this battle. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And as wildfire danger continues to grow here across the county, CalFire urging people to prepare now.
Yeah, one way to do this is to create defensible space around your property. You've heard this before, but what does it mean? CBS 8's Regina Yarita live outside CalFire headquarters with more on how you can do this and what CalFire is telling folks. Regina?
Hey, good morning, Chris and Eric. That's right. CalFire's message to people across the state is really to stay prepared. We are at the start of fire peak season. We've seen multiple fires break out across the state. And so right now, their biggest focus or priority to at least recommend people to do is to create that defensible space. So I want to show you what I'm talking about. We actually have a picture to kind of guide you what this means. So that picture shows different zones. We have 2, 1, and 0, but I want you to focus on zone 0, or rather the first 5 feet of your home. This could also be a deck, buildings, or structures, but zone 0 is essentially helping you eliminate flammable plants or wood piles by reminding you where the immediate perimeter of your home is located. From there, defensible space extends to 100 feet, broken down into zones 1 and 2. While it's not legally required, zone 0 is key for wildfire defense and preventing wildfires from spreading to your home. CalFire says right now it's time to get serious. You need to prepare a plan in place. This week, as I mentioned, we have seen multiple brush fires burning across the state. And here in San Diego, just 11 miles east from where I'm standing, the El Monte wildfire is still burning. We know it prompted evacuation warnings and orders yesterday, but they have been lifted as of now. This does, however, serve as a stark reminder that wildfires happen all year round and preparedness is extremely important. So I want to show you additional tips to kind of create that resistance zone. You want to start by clearing up any dead weeds, grass, or other debris. Try to keep branches trimmed at least 10 feet away from chimneys. And if you have boats, RVs, or any vehicles, try to relocate them so they're not so close from this zone. But here's what officials are also saying.
What we're really focusing on this here is zone 0. Remove all that vegetation where those plants or anything close to your home can ignite on fire and start your house on fire as well.
And CalFire says another tool that you can use to stay prepared is downloading the Genesis Protect app. That also gives you latest information on any wildfires that are currently burning in your county or near you. It also has more information on any road closures, evacuation warnings, or orders. But of course, you can also look back on CBS8.com for the latest information on those wildfires. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Regina. All of that very good information for us to use. All right, this morning, Israel's defense minister is directly threatening Iran's supreme leader, saying he should, quote, not continue to exist. This comes as Israel says a hospital was hit by an Iranian missile, and Iran state TV says Israel hit a heavy water reactor used in nuclear production. Meantime, President Donald Trump is warning he may not reach a decision on attacking Iran until the last minute. CBS News has learned the president approved plans, but is waiting to see if Iran will abandon its nuclear program. Today, the San Diego group Veterans for Peace will hold a rally on the conflict today at 5 p.m. at Waterfront Park. And new photos this morning show a cross-border tunnel. Look at this. This is between Tijuana here and San Diego. Border Patrol says it was still under construction when they found it, but was already over 2,900 feet long and very sophisticated with lighting, ventilation, and a track system that they think was going to be used to smuggle drugs. Part of it is under the Otay Mesa port of entry. Agents found it back in April, and just this past Monday traced the origin to a house near TJ's airport. Border Patrol says they will pour concrete in the tunnel to seal it shut.
A private jet was flying too low on its descent path before crashing into a military housing community in Murphy Canyon last month. That's according to a newly released preliminary report from the NTSB. That crash killed all 6 people on board and injured 8 people on the ground. It happened in thick fog and low visibility. The report states the jet was flying too low for more than a mile before it clipped power lines. It didn't explain why, but an investigation is still underway. The report also noted that part of the airport's lighting system, which helps guide pilots in low visibility approaches, has been out of service since 2022. And this morning, the city of San Diego is appealing a ruling that found its ban on beachside yoga classes unconstitutional. A federal appeals court made the decision 2 weeks ago, but the city says it got it wrong. The city says it wasn't a total ban, but a temporary summer moratorium from Memorial Day through Labor Day to manage tourist crowds at shoreline parks. Officials say yoga instructors have more than 60 other city parks available. The attorney representing some of the yoga instructors who challenged the ban says this lawsuit is a waste of city resources.
To be employing attorneys to trammel people's First Amendment rights is just, it's not only a waste of resources, but it's a betrayal of the public trust. And it's the exact opposite of what we hope that our elected officials would be doing.
Now, the city maintains its restrictions are reasonable time and place regulations, not content-based censorship.
And today is Juneteenth, commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S. It marks the day in 1865 when the last enslaved people in Texas were freed nearly 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah, the Juneteenth flag will be raised in the Black Arts and Cultural District in Encanto at 9 a.m. And the restaurant Louisiana Purchase hosted a block party in North Park starting at noon. A celebration will also be held at Cal State San Marcos starting at 3 p.m. The World Beat Cultural Center in Balboa Park will host events today and Saturday.
And there are some closures for the holiday that you do need to know about. You can see right there on your screen. City and county offices are closed today. County libraries and animal shelters are also closed. City libraries, pools, and rec centers are closed. Trash will be collected as scheduled. Good news, parking meters, time restrictions for parking, yellow zones, and posted street sweeping routes in the city of San Diego will not be enforced. But remember those daylighting laws. Now, you can explore the history and significance of Juneteenth on CBS 8 Plus. Just download on your TV and watch for free.
And we did just get word that the Monte fire we've been discussing here grew to 970 acres. It's still 25% contained, so it's gone up over 100 or so acres, twice the size from what we brought to you as yesterday. So it's growing in size. The good news, no homes threatened right now, but it's been hot the past couple days for the firefighters out there fighting this.
Finally, between now and the weekend, we'll start to see those temperatures slide, and that's going to allow for a gradual temperature cool down and also an increase in the cloud cover that we have starting at the coast and stretching inland. Remember, it peels back in the opposite direction, so across our eastern valleys, they'll see some sunshine rather quickly into the next about 2-3 hours, and then coastline will follow. Today will be another sunny day, pretty much county-wide, with temperatures exceeding average by a few degrees, but this is the start of a cool down that will then continue all the way through the upcoming weekend. Weekend is going to be a little bit cooler, especially on Saturday, and then it looks like by the beginning of next week, temperatures actually start to take on a little bit of a warm-up. One thing we are going to be watching for is wind, which we'll talk about in just a bit. I do want to take you all the way down to Mexico and get a check-in on what we have going on as far as Hurricane Eric goes. This Category 3 now hurricane just made landfall south of Oaxaca. We're seeing that it's going to continue to track north. That's going to bring some dangerous storm surge to areas like Acapulco, continuing north and then just breaking apart as it does so. So it's already started that deterioration process. It was a Category 4 hurricane, but technically made landfall as a Category 3. That is better news, but still 125-mile-per-hour winds are no joke around the center of the eye. We're also seeing life-threatening storm surge, but another foot of rain possible in the area. So it's something we're going to keep checking in on as the days continue. Sunrise was at 5:41. It's overcast out there. We've had about 30 minutes since the sunrise, still hanging out with gray skies. Sunset, 7:59. Remember, tomorrow is the start of summer. That is when we will be watching for our longest day of the year. Let's check in on traffic. Drive times outside have been pretty quiet. We've been noticing that there are a couple crashes that have popped up in the meantime. They have both been cleared, it looks like, so I'll take you to where both of those were. Previously, we had the left-hand shoulder that was blocked with a stalled vehicle on the 5 northbound. Right-hand shoulder was blocked with a crash on the 94 eastbound. Both of those have been cleared. Those were also only blocking shoulders, so all the lanes were still passable, and it looks like that is still the case as we head through the morning commute. A lot of green out there. Let's take a look at border wait times, where it's a 75-minute wait, getting across somewhat quick at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, at least compared to most mornings. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is actually one of the quicker ones today. 30 minutes is all it's going to take you to get across that border.